Congresswoman Cindy Axne, who's considered running against Governor Kim Reynolds next year, wants the governor to change her mind about that federal money and then use it for COVID-19 testing for schools. The governor is saying that other resources are available, but the Congresswoman believes the governor should do all she can to protect kids.
And as somebody who still has a child in our public school system here, obviously all of us parents are pretty disturbed that we're approaching a time where we see a variant that we still don't have all the explanations for, that's affecting children at greater levels and spreading at a much higher rate, not only impacting our kids but our teachers and our administrators. And so I'm deeply concerned about the unmask mandate that the governor put in place, where our schools can't enforce a mask mandate. Our schools want to try and keep our kids safe. They want continuity for these kids. What we want is to keep our kids in school. And so I know that so many parents are very concerned that they think that we're going to see a retake of last year because we're not, looking at this from the perspective that we need. And I also know that in particular, like in West Des Moines, we don't have enough of the test kits. And listen, unfortunately, the governor sent back some of our money that I voted for us to support our public schools here, and we could be using that right now.
And some of the reports are that these school districts don't know how to even request some of this money that the governor said is still available. So how do they proceed?
Well, certainly they should be able to work with the Iowa, Education Association if they're having troubles with that, and contact the ISEA and make sure that that happens. If they have any problems with that, they can always contact our office and we'll make that connection. But I would think that the ISEA would help them through those ropes of getting to that money. It shouldn't be that difficult, though. Really, what we did was allocate funding for our public school system. It's in its own bucket to address COVID issues, and it really should not be that complicated. So if there is complications, I'm going to want to figure out how we can make that easier for folks.
You follow the numbers about hospitalizations, positive cases, all of those things. What do the numbers tell you?
Well, the numbers tell me that we're going to see a spike, and most likely that's going to occur in the fall. A lot of people were saying that's going to be October. The sad thing is, not only is this a COVID issue, it's just an overall healthcare issue. We have hospitals right here in Des Moines that said they have no more beds left. You have a heart attack, guess what? You're out of luck. Your child gets in a car accident, unfortunately, they're out of luck. You want to know why? Because we're not having enough people vaccinated in Iowa. And those who are vaccinated aren't ending up in the hospital at nearly the degree that those who are unvaccinated are. And what's happening right now is those unvaccinated people are taking up beds that Iowans desperately need. So I really just urge everybody to get vaccinated, because if it's not you, it could be your neighbor who suffers a heart attack and then can't even get a bed at the hospital. That's not what we should be doing here.
Now, are you saying that they have already reached that point where if there is a case of a heart attack or a bad car accident or something, they cannot accept a person in that kind of situation?
We have some hospitals that are at that point, yes. And there are certainly hospitals across the country that have absolutely reached that point. And as this continues to spread, we're going to see hospitals all across the nation with this issue. So this is really where we're at. This is about thinking about other people. And the healthcare issues that they face. So there's just not enough space. We don't build hospitals for pandemics. We build them for regular usage. And when a pandemic comes in and takes over the vast majority of the beds, all that does is mean that those who need it when they need it won't have the availability.
You have supported the use of the vaccine to protect people, both the person who gets it and those around them. We're to the point now where we have people who either have questions about the vaccine, don't want to be vaccinated, or hesitant for whatever reason. What do you suggest to push to encourage more people to get that additional protection? Is there anything does the government have a role in that? What can be done?
Yes, I think the government has some role in it. The president is doing what I think is right, which is requiring vaccination for federal employees. We need to create continuity of government. That's so important for our country to succeed. So things like that really are important. What I would ask people, though, to do is think about who you are as a person. If you really do care about your neighbors, then you should go get vaccinated, because you don't know what will happen. You don't know if you're going to get in a motorcycle accident, a lawn mowing accident, literally cleaning your windows and you fall down. There's so much that could just happen. And gosh darn it, can't we look out for those folks that might be in an accident and get hurt? Get the vaccination. Just do it for somebody that you love. Do it for our children. Gosh darn it, do it for our children. They can't get vaccinated. And do it for those parents who have the children who can't get vaccinated, who stay up every night worrying about their own child's safety. The last thing we should ever be doing is putting our children's lives in jeopardy.
Do you have any reason not to trust the vaccine?
No, there's no reason not to trust the vaccine. I'm standing here having had mine in January, and I'm standing around all kinds of people who have been vaccinated. Listen, we can create vaccines in a short period of time in this country. We have that capability. We have the resources and we have the brains to get it done. Just because in the past we've delayed too much and haven't put the resources towards it doesn't mean that this is questionable at all. It just means that we were able to do what we need to do. So get the vaccination, it's perfectly safe.
Now, we couldn't find any Iowa hospital that cannot currently accept a heart attack patient or child injured in a car crash because it's out of resources because so many people are sick with COVID. Her spokesperson told me later that she knows that what she's saying is down the road that could happen if too many unvaccinated people get sick and fill up the hospital beds. Insider's Quick 6 is next.